Welcome to the Good Girl Talks, a space where stories untangle the myths of silence, perfectionists and proving. I'm Sonia Figueredo, and together we'll explore what it means to move beyond the good girl, conditioning into truth, voice, and resonance. Here you'll hear conversations that are raw, insightful, and deeply human with women and men who are rewriting their narratives of work, leadership, love, and belonging, and what they've done to get there. This is not about being good, it's about being whole. So take a breath, take your seat at the table, and let's begin. And today, I would like to introduce you to the beautiful Ariana, and she's a mindset and burnout coach and specializes in working with teachers. And we all know we need to look after our teachers because they help our young ones flourish and find their own purpose in the world. Welcome aboard, Ariana.
Thank you, Sonia. It's so good to be here. Love the introduction, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ariana, I would love to hear a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are now.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me, by the way. So my story starts, where am I going to take you? Back to my childhood when I actually lost my mother. I was 15 years old and I thought my whole world was over and done with. If I move quickly past that and fast forward to where the pivotal point of my transformation began, I would have to say that it would probably be about 20 years after my mother had passed away, after I had my children and after I became a mother myself, and what it felt like to be a mother, but also to put myself in the shoes of my children as if they lost their mother. Now, in that, I also found that there was a lot of unhealed trauma that I had been carrying and suffering with for 20 years. And I had put on a lot of masks. In terms of good girl, which is funny, I actually put my own suffering to the side to please other people around me. And what that means is that there was a lot of times I said yes when I actually meant no. I was in a caretaker stage where I just felt like it was my job to look after everybody. And that just comes from a place of being the eldest in my family and looking after two of my younger sisters and a younger brother as well. And I had carried that all through my life. I didn't even realize how much it had impacted my decisions, the way that I led, the way that I showed up in my life. And when it was actually made apparent to me, I actually got really defensive. There's a rebel in me still that likes to defend that good girl part of me, because for me, I feel like it's kindness. And then so I got the two kind of mixed up, which was something that I had to navigate through again. But what I've learned, Sonia, is that life is a battleground. I used to say it was a playground, but for me, I say it's a battleground, meaning that we learn so many things about ourselves and our environment along the way. There's no such thing as perfection. I know this, but it's still something that kind of in my inner dialogue that points out to me, like, make sure you get this right. Make sure you get this right. We're here to serve people. You want to make sure that you look good. So there's still a little bit of that just comes in. Being a coach now, I know how to manage and I have strategies to manage that. What a hell of a journey it's been. Seriously. To get to my age to where I am now, I think to myself, like, how did you even get this far? And it's funny because one exercise that I did was I actually had a younger photo of myself, and I'm about 5 years old, and I started talking to that younger version of me, that inner child. And what came out of that was heartbreaking, to be honest, and just lucky I have a coach that I could navigate my way through that, through a lot of regret, through a lot of hurt, a lot of suffering still. And just looking at my younger version of myself and thinking, wow, look how innocent you are. You've got the world ahead of you. You don't even know what's coming. And then just saying, you know what, you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to act in a way that is foreign to you. And it's going to seem like it's the right thing to do. But one day you're going to find out that actually who you are right now is who you are meant to be. Without the masks, without the having to please anybody, but with coming back to who you are, to who this little girl is. And that for me has been the most eye-opening thing that I've done for myself, other than actually seeking help, because seeking help was another thing that I didn't do. I was too much of a good girl and a rebel to be like, I don't need anybody's help. I can do this all by myself. I know the signs, I know the signals, and when they pop up, I'm fine. What that actually really looked like was, okay, I'm just going to have a drink, and maybe I'm going to drink all night, and maybe that'll solve the problem. It didn't solve any problems. It actually made them worse. And yeah, that was another thing for me to navigate through as well. And so through my 20s, I was actually an alcoholic, and it was my way of remedying a lot of the things that I was carrying. I just didn't know. To me, I didn't think anything was wrong with how I was trying to fix myself. I thought that's just what everybody did. And on one side, I had this dark part of life that I was living through. And then on a switch side or on a flip side, I had this side of me where people just thought I was an angel. And when I actually later on in my life revealed that I was a closet drinker, no one actually believes me because of the front that I put on, and I could do it so well. I had learned to just, like a switch, just turn myself on and off whenever I wanted to, but I knew when I was in the company of others, especially professionally, but even in front of my family, yeah, I knew how to turn that good girl on. I knew how to be the person that they needed me to be. And yeah, at nighttime, it just was so much that it consumed me so much that I was drinking to remedy the suffering that I had felt from the loss of my mother. I didn't even know that all of that had actually come from that. I thought, you know what, I'd actually, coming from a New Zealand Māori culture, when we have funerals, we do it as a collective. So meaning that for a year after the funeral, the family takes care of us. They make sure that we are well looked after. And in terms of, I'm going to say, externally, yes, that was exactly what my family did. But internally, no, not so much. And here I am today. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned over time. I've come to understand now why I had suffered so much. So now those regrets so much now are more, there's more a love and a compassion there for me, not so much a regret. If I had to do some things over again, yeah, sure, I'd do them again. If there were some things that I wouldn't do again, oh my God, absolutely, yeah, sure, I would go there as well. But like I said, life's a battleground, and I'm thankful for everything. There are always going to be challenges in our way, but it's about seeking help for that, going right inside and having that love and compassion to say, you know what, there are some things that happened when you were younger that you are not in control of. How did you know? And are we supposed to prepare ourselves for the worst things in life that are going to happen? Or do we live moment to moment and enjoy all the good things along the way, face our challenges head on by asking for help? I just know too that losing my mother at 15 years old, I was so young. And when I look at my own children at their ages of 15, and I just think to myself, wow, that is just, it's such a young, vulnerable age, especially at 15, because we're adolescents, young adolescents then. We have these dreams of all these amazing things that can happen in our lives, but as long as we have our parents and our world is safe, yes, those dreams will manifest, especially through a massive traumatic event such as losing your mother. Though everything just crumbles, everything is dark, you don't know where you're going. In that stage of time, you can't even imagine a brighter future out there. And then the added responsibility for me to actually take care of my brothers and my sisters and my brother as well. That made it 10 times worse for me in terms of imagining, because I was imagining a future for my siblings rather than for myself, to bring them hope, to bring them courage to be able to step out. And so I did a lot of that for them. And they actually have gone out and they have traveled the world and they have bought houses and they have manifested the dreams that they have wanted to. And then for me, I was always the last. And for me, that's how I showed up. It's okay to be last, which was pretty sad to not even know that to put myself first was actually more important than putting myself. Actually, it is important, more important than putting myself last. But now that I've learned how to put myself first, and it's funny now because, wow, I can't even tell you like just how much I respect myself, how much I enjoy all the successes that I've brought about in my life, how much I can give now as a coach, working with not only teachers, which is where I specialize in, but I also I just feel like I have so much lived experience in so much different areas now. I can reach so many different people in healthy and resourceful ways. Whereas before it was coming off the back of my lived experience, which is okay for some people, but it's not necessarily the right thing to be offering as suggestions and in advice. But yeah, I am grateful. I think that's the key word that I want to focus on at the moment, which is just gratitude. I'm gratitude for the good girl part in me, because it taught me how to actually be the authentic girl more than the good girl. So, yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you. There's a lot there. And I know when people listen, your story may not be their story, but they could certainly resonate with a lot of what you've been saying. And authenticity is definitely the key, and so is gratitude. One of the things that I'm learning right now is to be a lot more grateful for my experiences and for what is thrown at me at life, because it makes me and defines who I am right now. What I would love to know, if you are willing to go there, is you mentioned that when your family were caring for you at 15, and it sounds like it was definitely something that was beautiful in terms of your family holding that space for you. What do you think you needed? Because you mentioned that that internal wasn't met. What would you have needed at that age, thinking about it now?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. At the time, because I was so young, I think I just needed understanding around what had actually taken place. To be told that none of it was my fault. To be told that there's a reason for why things happen, but just because my mother lost her life, it didn't mean to say that I had lost mine. How can I say? A lot of soothing for my soul, for the girl inside me who was just struggling to navigate so many different feelings, so many different emotions, the loss, the fear of the future, even the fear of the past. Had I given my mother enough? How can I hold on to her still? How can I let go of her? Is it my responsibility to take care of my siblings and my father, who was grieving as well at the same time? I think that real soothing of my soul is what I would have needed at the time. And I know that my family would have been able to do that. But for me, if I like thinking about it now too, it feels like I had to have asked for it. And at 15, I didn't know how to ask for anything. Yeah.
I think. Are you able to soothe yourself now?
Yeah, I am. Yep. And like I was saying, when I spoke to the picture of my younger self, she walks hand in hand with me now. I used to think we were two separate things, two separate entities. But I realized that she's part of me and I am part of her. And we walk together now. We navigate challenges together. It feels like I hold her the way that I always wanted to be held. And so her and I, we know how to take walks together. We know how to have rest together. We know how to just be and we know how to acknowledge feelings and emotions when they show up. And we know how to tell this inner dialogue inside us to shut the F up because it lies to us so many times. And if we go by what our inner dialogue says, we're moving away from our authentic self. And we know that when we speak heart to heart, we are led from a place of love, not from a place of fear, which I think logic does. And I know both logic and our heart are there to protect us, but is it healthy? Is it resourceful? Is it necessary? Is it true? And so, yes, I do know how to self-soothe myself now.
Beautiful. I'm sure that you have passed your wisdom down to your children.
Absolutely.
That's something that you've taught them as well, how to self-soothe and to love themselves.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's so important that they have a voice. So there's a lot of times for me, and I think it comes down to the experiences that I have had and what I needed at the time, that I spend a lot of time having pillow talks with my children. I can't have pillow talks with them now because they're adults or young adults. But I really am so grateful that my children feel like they can come to me and just say, hey, Mum, there's just this that I'm going through. Is it okay if I can just spend some time with you and I can just have a talk to you about it? If I sit there and I don't say anything, just let them know that I'm there and I hold that space for them, they usually know the solution to their own problems. And then it's just around navigating, okay, so how do you want to do this? What happens if it goes pear-shaped? What is it going to mean for you? And what step are you going to take from there? And they've become better people for that. Sometimes it kills me because I give them all this advice and this, I don't know if you're one of those people who dishes out advice and then says to yourself, no, I need to take my own advice. That was really good advice. So when I do that,
That at all.
when I do that with my children, and then I say to them, you always have a choice. And then I say to them, okay, I need you to help me with this. And they say to me, not right now, Mum. I'm like, no, you don't get a choice. Like, oh my God. What is saying? And then I look at them, I say to them, I'm sorry, give me a moment. This is my past trauma coming back up, like controlling, or it's not my past trauma, but it's the controlling side of me that's coming back. And I'm so grateful because they're like, yeah, sure, Mum, it's okay. And then I sit with myself and I say to myself, why do I need them to do this for me right now? And then, so that's another part of self-soothing for me as well. It's that reflection.
What I love is that you just admitted that you're human. You're right. We're all a work in progress and we are not our past traumas and we don't allow them to define us, but every now and then it will creep through the crack.
That's it. This life learning thing is never ending.
No.
But we come out of it better for it. I have to say that 100%. I have come out the other end just being more loving, more compassionate. I can say that I know what freedom is. I didn't actually know what the real meaning of that is, but to feel light, to feel peace, to just face things head on without fear, that gives me a sense of freedom. Especially that part there is when things start to pop up, like jump on it. straight away. What is it? Acknowledge it. Hi, thank you. I like to think of it as a friend that likes to pop in. And one of those annoying friends, not one of those helpful friends, but one of those annoying friends that likes to come and raid your fridge and leave. Our type friend. So, yeah, acknowledge that friend when they come in. Instead of letting them raid the fridge, invite them to take a look in the fridge and help themselves. And let me put the kettle on and let's have a cuppa before you actually take off again. So,
Well, gives you a bit of strength too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes away the fear.
Yes.
Obviously, sometimes that friend, even though they're going to pop up again, it's like they're still that annoying. They're still annoying to me. It's you've come at the most inconvenient time. Didn't I tell you to just wait the last time I put the kettle on for you? Now go away. I know that you're there. Stay there. I'll be with you in a second. Just shh.
I just need a little bit of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Love that for you. So, Ariana, do you take what you've just said into your coaching practice now? How are you serving women and what's your why?
I think you nailed it before. I just be human. I show up just being human. What you see is what you get, basically. And that allows people to bring in their full selves as well. I think pretty light person. I don't like to take things too seriously. I know that people have serious issues and serious problems that they perceive them as real. But I think my humor, my lightness contributes to, okay, yeah, we might be navigating through some crap, but it's crap now that you're here in my place, in my space, in our space. Yeah, you don't have to carry that alone. And it's okay for you to laugh at some of these things. It's not, is it going to fix it? No, it's not going to fix it. But let's just give ourselves a break. Let's just laugh at the absurdity of it all. And then let's really find the core of what's really going on. And so, yes, I do take it into my space. All of me comes with me, just as much as I invite all of my clients to come in as them as well.
One of the things I've always loved about you and gravitated to is your energy. I'm the serious person and you're the energized person. And what I find is that in your presence, it allows me to give myself permission to be a little bit lighter, a little bit open, and a little bit more silly, which things that I need to learn every single day.
Because we have all of those parts in us, right?
Yes.
And even for me, the child in me comes out a lot of the times. There are times when that child of me has to have a seat as well. It's sitting there going, come on, can I tell a joke? Can I tell a joke now? Can I energize everybody? But there's that other part of me that says, not yet. There's a time and a place for everything. But yeah, I think our energy is what connects us to each other.
Yeah.
Our vibration, our frequency. So Sonia, obviously, if I can feel that you're going through something that's really tough right now, obviously I'm not going to bring out the joker in me to the table. No, that's not an appropriate thing to do.
You might end with that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just sit with this person in this. There'll be, and for me, I always try to look for the light where I can actually pull that in. I don't want you to leave the way that you came in. I want you to leave with feeling a little bit lighter, feeling like you're not alone, feeling that you've been heard, feeling that you've been seen. And yeah, I don't know, that's the part of me that lights up. That's the passion in me that I bring to my coaching spaces.
Beautiful. It truly is a joy. And I know people who love your energy will definitely be attracted to you. And I love that you've said light. Light is so resonating because absolutely you don't want to come to a session and not be able to go away feeling that little bit lighter and feeling as though you may not have the answers now, but there's definitely a way forward. So with that, how can people get in contact with you, Ariana?
Oh my gosh. So you can contact me via DM through my Facebook page. Oh, I'm also on LinkedIn as well. So you can catch me at Queen Bee Coaching.
Well, thank you. And I would like to ask if you had one closing comment to anyone listening right now, what would you like to say to them?
Oh, these are difficult because there were so many closing comments, isn't there?
There is.
Oh, you know what? I would just have to say, lead with your heart.
I love that.
Yeah.
It doesn't steer you astray when you really do listen to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I have felt that every time I lead with my heart, I never go wrong.
Beautiful. Thank you. Ariana, I'd like to thank you for today and thank you for joining me. The Good Girls Talks is my passion, and I would love for women, even men, to hear our messages and hear that they are not alone. So I hope today's conversation has opened the door for you and for me and for anyone who's listening. And if this has resonated with you, and if what Ariana has said has sparked a little message inside you, do something about it. Start with love and then subscribe and send it to somebody who could need this lesson and this story right now. So until next time, remember, you were never meant to be just good. You were born to be free. Thank you. And